Hello, Reagan here. So this week we're working on the 66 Volkswagen Beetle. This is a Tamiya build kit, and very straightforward, very well molded, everything lined up really well, no missing pieces or anything. Yeah, it was fantastic. The only thing I did do is the seats have these little pieces that I broke one off of. That was all me. Yeah, I am building this as part of a diorama that I haven't made yet, so I'm planning for the future. I figured I'd share this with you. This is in 124 scale. So I actually have a lot of things that it scales with. I have a lot of other items that, like I said, for a future build that are the same scale. Everything I do pretty much is either like heroic scale of Warhammer, it's like 164 scale, or I do dollhouse scale stuff in like 124, 112. 112 is about the largest scale that I usually work in. Mostly because of space. I do like 112 scale after doing a lot of tabletop stuff and working in the smaller scales, and like some of the stuff is tiny. It's kind of nice to work in the larger scale. Yeah, this has been really kind of refreshing because I can actually see the parts when I'm working in 124 and 112 scale. But yeah, like I said, this was it's really nice, like little rubbery tires that fit on the rims nicely. Everything, I said, lined up really well and went together really well. I did tape a lot of stuff and kind of test fit, and then some of it I still haven't completely glued, and there was a couple of things that I haven't painted yet on purpose. So but I did get like the majority of it done. So real quick, while I'm sitting here fumbling with tires, I'll tell you, I did get my Patreon set up, and even if you don't choose a tier, if you would like to enjoy more vlogs and that type of content from me, hop over to Patreon and give me a follow over there, because I'm going to be offering a lot of vlog material that's not behind a paywall. Because I find it a little bit easier to post vlogs on Patreon. I'm more comfortable with it than I am to post that kind of stuff over here. As I've mentioned before, I'm still in the planning stages of working on my dollhouse, and life has been throwing it all at me so far this year. It's like I feel like I'm 8 months into 2023 and it's February already, and I don't know what's going on, and 2020 was yesterday. I'm so confused. Yeah. So, real quick. So for this, I used a dark purple. You know what? I'll list the name of the paint down below in the description, but it's from Monument Hobbies. It's one of the Pro Acryl paints. I love the Pro Acryl line. Those paints are amazing and they spray really, really well. Sometimes I'll dilute them. You can actually dilute them quite a bit because they're really heavily pigmented, but like you don't even hardly have to do anything to them to get them to go through the airbrush, and they perform beautifully. But I put down the dark purple, and then I put a color shift from Green Stuff World over top of it, and in Vader blue, I believe. Like I said, I'll put what they are either added on the screen or put it down in the description down below. I had to replace my airbrush, as I mentioned before, because of my cats. And this is the Iwata. Oh, I don't know what that is either. I'll put it in the description. I mentioned it before, but it works way better. I mean, I liked my Badger, don't get me wrong. And I was sad to see my Badger not work anymore, but I really like the way this airbrush performs. And it's pretty forgiving when I'm trying to cut some corners and don't fully disassemble it to clean it between every single paint. It seems to be pretty easy to, keep going on the fly. If you notice the pink in my cup there, that's that the color shift paint that I used for this build. But yeah, anyway, what I was saying is I got my Patreon up, and if you want to hop over there and give a follow. And I also I opened a new PO box. I used to have an old one, but it's a long story anyway. I ended up getting a new one. But if you are interested in getting monthly mail from me, my $10 tier offers that over on Patreon. I'll probably drop it down to the $3 tier a little later, but I'm just getting Patreon like set up and going and stuff. So for right now, it's only offered for the $10 tier, and like I said, it'll probably change in the future. I do have a PO box, like I said, which is listed in the description of this video, and that is my new PO box. If you want to contribute anything toward the dollhouse that I'm building, you can do so there. Or if you just want to be a pen pal, drop me a line. And like I said, I'll be sending monthly mail to my Patreon members that pledge $10 or more. But I also am not opposed to, like, you know, regular correspondence with people. I like snail mail. It's fun. So just throwing that out there. And I also have some stuff that I would like to like do some exchanges and stuff and unload because I'm a borderline hoarder. No, I'm kind of a pack rat. For the longest time, I always had a steady flow of stuff going in and out. You know, I would trade things with people, give away a lot of stuff, have people give me a lot of stuff, you know, and always kept a pretty easy, even flow of in and out of items. And it's kind of cool because nothing was ever stagnant, and I had a lot of variety, and I get to like try out cool things or look at cool stuff and then, you know, pass it on to somebody else or trade it for something different or better, you know. But with all the pandemic stuff and lockdown and everything, that really kind of changed a lot for me, especially in that department, because then I was, you know, obviously not able to get out and mingle with people as much. So that put me in a position of not being able to unload things. And then I had a lot of people bring me stuff, unfortunately, due to like people passing away and everything because of COVID. And then I had like family members and stuff, so I ended up acquiring a lot more stuff, a lot of stuff that I haven't even gone through, haven't even looked at yet, don't even know where to begin with yet. And as I go through, I kind of want to, like, you know, I'll be listing some stuff on Etsy. I'm going to set up a little yard sale section on there, basically, which is like some of the used and vintage items and stuff that I want to get rid of. And I will also, like I said, some of the stuff is like, it's stuff that's not really necessarily like monetarily worth much, but it's just kind of cool. You know what I mean? And like that stuff I would rather like exchange and mail or whatever, or, you know, do something like that for. I'm going to be actually later on this month having an actual yard sale at a friend of mine's house. We're gonna try to like unload some things because she's downsizing, getting ready to move out of state. And I have, like I said, a lot of stuff. I have a lot of bigger items that I'm obviously not going to be able to really ship to anyone, you know, because price is not realistic. So there's that as well. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I fine-lined everything completely off camera, well, just about off camera. I'm notorious for not keeping things in frame when I'm painting, but I was doing all the like pinstriping and stuff. And the reason I sped this up was because it was taking me forever and I wasn't staying in the lines very well. I keep doing really like not so bright things like putting contacts in and then starting to paint. And I'm not quite to the point of needing bifocals. Like without my glasses, I can see up close perfectly. But with contacts, I need readers because that one prescription can't, you know, in order for me to see well enough to like drive and walk through my house without kicking every piece of furniture, I have to have glasses on. I'm terribly nearsighted, but yeah, so I always make the mistake of putting my contacts in and then crafting. Can't see what the heck I'm doing. So I'm like trying to find the perfect angle where I can see what I can do, like what I'm doing, and I'm holding stuff up to and away from my face and off to the side, trying to get good light and drive myself crazy. And of course I get a lot of it not in shot. Some things are kind of hard to record. I mean, if I set up different camera angles and stuff and actually like applied myself a little better, which I totally have the ability to do, I really just need to get off my buns and actually focus on that, which I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'd be more likely to keep things, in frame. That's the main reason why I sped up this part of the process. And I will say, when you're doing these little trims, don't wait until after you glue the windows in place to paint a little trim around the windows. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that to myself. I know now those trims need to be painted when the windows are not in place, and some masking fluid or some liquid latex would probably be really good to keep the silver paint off of the glass. And I used I think I used a Vallejo, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I used a Vallejo silver metallic paint here. I believe it is probably from the Model Air line. Yeah, because I got one of those like little kits that has for like doing like specific military stuff or whatever. Anyway, and it was in there. But make sure that you thin your paints well so that they lay down. It's really funny because after, I've crafted every way you can possibly craft. I've painted everything you can possibly paint with every kind of paint, all the way from using an air gun to actually paint a car like proper, to using like 75 different brands of miniature paints and craft paints to paint everything on the planet. And I will say, a lot of the paint lines that they've created for painting tabletop miniatures for wargaming blow everything else completely out of the water. Some of that stuff is like tri-grinded, like they've ground the pigments like 3 times, and it's so smooth. The by grind stuff, like tooth and coats, amazing. I'm pretty sure that that's something that they do at Pro Acryl as well. And the silver pigment was pretty kicking. I got a new one too that I'm going to try out called 10 Star from Turbo Dork that I'll be putting on something soon so we can see what that looks like. But anyway, point is, paint your windows before you install them. And here is the finished, 99.85% finished Volkswagen Beetle, 1966 Volkswagen Beetle. So there it is. And she's adorable. And there's Ra checking it out. He's very impressed with my skills. Anyway, I will see you next time. Bye.